My name is Sean Askay, and I work at Google with the Google Earth Outreach team, and we help public benefit groups use mapping technology. So a lot of our work obviously involves the internet and using the internet to empower a lot of people, both with the kind of work that they do on the ground. For example, we work with some indigenous groups around the world who are trying to map their traditional lands and traditional land uses in an effort to work with local governments to show historically, where they've lived and established land rights. Other examples, we work with a lot of wildlife groups. There's a group in Kenya that tracks elephants with GPS collars, and they send their locations, elephant locations, either through satellite or phone networks, and track them in real time. And this allows them to do a number of things, like, for example, if an elephant stops moving, it's usually because it was either killed by poachers or got sick. And so they can use Google Earth, for example, to map these locations in real time. They'll also use it for situations where elephants leave a protected area, like a national park, and are heading towards farmlands. Typically, the farmers will, kill the elephants if they end up raiding their crops. And so so this system allows this nonprofit to basically forewarn farmers before the elephants come, so they can scare them away and hopefully save the lives of the elephants. So we do a lot of different work with organizations that wouldn't be possible without the internet. There's another group that's using smartphones to collect data out in the field. For example, doing quantitative measurements of how much biomass is in the Amazon rainforest, so that indigenous communities who are trying to protect that landscape can get carbon offset benefits through the carbon market as well. So, yes, all right.
How do we inspire kids today with Google tools and some of the technologies you're using, like Google Tours?
I think...
Tell me the question again. Just say what I said, basically.
Okay. So, one of the questions is how can you inspire younger generations to use Google tools and mapping technology? And I think, part of the key is really getting them to play with these tools hands-on. A lot of them, like Tour Builder, are easy enough for anyone to use. So they can jump in there and they can start searching for the places that they're familiar with. Where's their hometown? Where's their school? Where do they go on some school field trip? So it's putting these tools directly in the kids' hands and showing them the power of mapping, of tools like Google Earth, to get them really inspired to use it.
Wonderful. How can we get kids to start a Google?
Wow. So how do you get kids to start something like Google? Wow, that's a hard question. I think creating an environment where children are taught technology at a young age is really important, because kids learn obviously so much quicker than older folks do, adults do. And so I think putting them in an environment where they understand the possibilities of computers and programming, and understand the landscape and the tools that they have to work with. And then, showing them examples on a local scale of what's possible with technology, whether it's making a simple application that will show you, the closest park, to their house or to their school, if they want to go outside and play. Things like that to make them realize that they can impact the world in small ways and in big ways using technology.
Wonderful. Where are we going with communications and the TCP/IP specification? I mean, help us bridge the future. Do you have a view on that, or does Google have a view on that?
Wow, I don't know if I do, so I don't know if I can help with that. Sure.
Find a way to project forward.
Yeah, sure.
Any thoughts?
And then I can make some stuff up. So thinking about the future, I think that we're looking at a lot more connectivity in our lives. Obviously we have smartphones now, but as we start looking at self-driving cars, at appliances at home that are connected to the grid, I think that the world is going to get even more connected, and with those connections, I think we're going to see a lot of developments, a lot more efficiency in the way that we use natural resources, for example, or our awareness of the utilities and natural resources that we use. So.
No, it's good. Anything else you want to share with us, or any perspective on the pioneers and founders of the internet? I don't know.
So this has been a really fun event for me because I've heard about a lot of these internet pioneers for a lot of years. I had met Vin Cerf a number of years ago, and he ended up connecting me to Google, which is how I ended up there. And Judy Estrin as well. I worked with her sister at UCLA a bit. So it's neat to see what a small community it is. and how everyone knows each other, and to start connecting some more of those famous names, that I learned about in school, to real faces. So.